What is up, guys? Tips here. Today, you guys probably have heard the news. Quinn scouts the way in Legends of Runeterra. You guys damn well know I was going to be covering this today. And I have every right to be a little pissed off and happy at the same time. So in this video, I'm going to be giving a recap of why I believe Quinn is not going to be that essential in the next release when she comes out on the 30th. As well as why I believe the cards that she came with are actually going to have more of an impact than she actually has. If you guys really like the video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, as well as I can drop some dope content so you guys can see. So thank you guys again, and let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, so let's start this off by just quickly looking at the whole video, and then I'm going to tell you where the problems are seen and exactly why Quinn is just not going to be viable. So just watch this trailer real quick. 3-4 stats. Base stats are not good to begin with. Valor, second body, it's not part of the actual value that she is going to bring to the actual deck as a champion. We'll talk about this after. And we have the new keyword, Scout. They're attacking over here. Second phase of the attack. Okay, cool.
Still heart, steady aim.
So Quinn is leveling up now. That's pretty sick. I like those animations.
No one escapes my aim.
Now it becomes a 4-5, which is pretty reasonable. But again, I'll explain more about her stats. This is better than obviously than that 3-4, but we'll delve into that.
Fly swiftly.
Seems so broken, right? Look at that. Look at that, right? Look how broken this looks. Then attack again for the finish. Like, damn, that looks insane, right, guys? It's like, what the? It's like, what? Like, oh my god, the most OP champion ever. Holy god. Alright guys, so first things first, what I want to cover is her base stats over here. She has a 5 mana 3-4. So just by those stats alone, guys, it does not look too good whatsoever. I don't care what anyone says, those base stats are just complete garbage, mainly because you have a lot of 5 mana drops that already supersede her exact like stats. So I did some quick math for you guys over here. If we go to every 5 and 6 drop, actually we'll filter by 5s only. Okay, so 5 mana drops, right? I literally just looked at all of the cards that had basically 4 attack or more, meaning they could finish Quinn off, right? So I just plugged it into the calculator over here. There were about 20 cards. There were 20 cards that had 4 damage or more out of the 24 in this whole list. 83% of the 5 mana minions can kill Quinn. And then if we look at the 6 mana ones, then you have a 64% of the whole total amount of cards in that, you know, mana pool that could potentially kill Quinn. But just already 83% of those cards can finish her, meaning she's not gonna get her ability like proc anytime soon at all. So guys, an easy way to read this new keyword, I know it's confusing, a lot of people were not understanding it, but just rearrange the sentence, right? When scout units attack each round for the first time only, ready your attack. So that makes things a lot more easier to just understand, because I know Rito have issues with the kind of like, I don't know why, writing their descriptions. They just can't make it easy for us. Basically, whenever a scout unit attacks, it uses its own kind of, think of it like attack token, and then you can still have your own attack phase, right? So we'll see it over here in the video. Bam, he's got the attack token right here. Puts all 3 units there. Attacks. So as you can see, this was all the scouts. There are 3 scouts. They all have attacked. So your attack token isn't used. It's their own scout ability. It acts as basically a relentless pursuit, which gives you rally, right? So let's get that straight. That's covered. Easy.
We're not done yet.
He attacks again. Sick. I will be going over all the other cards as we can see here, but Quinn is the main essential thing I want to point out here, right? We see Quinn, right? She's got the scout new keyword, which isn't too bad. But now if we look at her stats, right? Okay, she's a 5 mana 3-4. You basically get 2 bodies, right? You get her and Valor. And Valor is a 2-1 if I'm not mistaken. With some additional abilities. He's got Challenger, and he also has the Scout as well. So in Hearthstone, you would see her as a 5-5 because her stats combined with Valor, it kind of makes sense a little bit. But it's very separate because she has her own level up. Valor does not have the level up. So you have to just consider her as a single card, a single entity. That's it. Since her level up is going to really dictate what's going to happen with your actual deck. Her level up, like, you want that to proc. That's literally going to skyrocket your deck so that you can win the game. If you don't get that level up, for the most part, you just threw a shitty card on the board and you didn't get anything done really. At the end of the day, guys, it's just not worth the pain if you're not getting a proc going, because easily comparable. If you compare to Garen 5/5, Garen obviously beats that. If we look at all these other cards who can easily finish her, Averson Hearthguard, Arkanoid Host, you have all of these cards that will just easily just finish her. Okay, so that's one thing to consider. She's does not have good base stats to begin with. All right, so that's out of the question. Bad base stats. Now, okay, cool. What makes up for her base stats? Well, she has Scout. Awesome. That's great. Good. I like that. She can summon Valor. Okay, it's a second body, but that's not really part of her, because as I mentioned, right, her level up consists of only her card. Like, Valor has nothing to do with that. So you can't really consider Valor as part of her value, in my opinion. Like, sure, it'll add maybe one more attack for her level up, but if this card is not alive for that, there's no reason to consider that as a body, as a mixed body for that value, if that makes sense. When I've seen you attack 4 times, let's clarify this as well, right? What is seeing you attack 4 times? Not every minion. So as you see over here, when they're attacking, so this is not 1 and not 2 attacks. It's one whole turn of the attack token is gonna be 1 attack. So let's get that straight, right? Realistically, in 1 turn, so let's say you summon her turn 5, you attack with the Scout, and then you're gonna attack with your token. That's already 2 attacks. And then realistically speaking, turn 6, you get 2 more attacks, right? But the problem with this is now again her base stats that won't allow her to live to even use her proc, right? So imagine in turn 6, you can't even attack because they have 2 big minions that you lose Quinn. So that's basically the trade-off you're getting. Like, I just feel like at a perfect scenario, if you were to summon her, it just would be too hard. So over here, right, she has an attack token. All these 3 minions have Scout. Okay, attack. That is considered 1 attack to her proc, to Quinn's proc. And then now this is the attack token, the actual attack token that any minion can attack with. That was all Scout's ability. So now comes the general attack token for everyone, right?
Not done yet.
So 2 level ups on Quinn, right? 2 level ups on Quinn on there.
Still
okay,
heart
they're showing this.
Steady.
Okay, this is the attack, right? She levels up. So this is where I have a huge issue with what's going on, right? So guys, I didn't like how the trailer basically was very one-sided. If we look over here, dude, she has 6 mana. This man only has 4. Like, don't understand that. Like, that makes absolutely 0 sense. Meaning already you have 2 mana curves ahead of the other opponent. Meaning they've only got 1, like, insect, right? They have the freaking 2/1 on the board. Well, you've got a 4/1 and a 3/4 who have, like, really good stats. Like, of course you're gonna dominate. It's gonna look like domination. Like, you obviously weren't following the curve correctly, right? And then over here, right, at 6 mana, look at this. He's at 8. Look at this. You only have an Elise and you have a 3/2 drop. Like, bro, that's a 2 mana and that's a 2 mana. That's 4. And like, you have all these minions. Like, dude, that's just why this trailer was just so one-sided and it looked like Quinn was overkilling everything. And it ended up just looking like this, you know what I mean? These are not realistic scenarios of what happened here at all. So guys, best case for turn 5, you place Quinn, you get 2 attacks in, right? 1 would be from the Scout and 1 would be from your general attack token. And then on turn 6, I think this would be the best case, right? You would basically use Relentless Pursuit so you could rally again. And then you'd have your Scout attack, and then you'd attack fully. That's 4 attacks total, meaning Quinn levels up on that 4th attack on turn 6. And then she's actually viable, because now turn 7, her ability comes again, right? Turn 6 on that last attack, Valor sweeps the strongest enemy, and then you can all go. And then turn 7, the same thing happens. And that's literally the best case scenario, which is pretty lethal. But you're going to have to get the right cards, like Relentless Pursuit. But at the same time, guys, it's going to be really difficult to attack because you're forgetting this is if the best case they don't have a board. You somehow got rid of their whole board. But if they have enemies there, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to actually get Quinn to not die. That's the problem here, which makes her not a viable choice. Unless maybe you're mixing her up with a different region, right? So we could easily mix her up with Ionia. We could mix her up with probably Fredgelord. I think having her be elusive could help a bit. You would need something like Sumpworks from Ionia. I could see people mixing a Quinn with that. I could see people using Elixir of Iron from Fredgelord with her. Maybe even Ghost, but that's not a really good card because that's only a turn. You want some permanent way so she won't take damage. Even if Elixir of Iron isn't permanent, it's at least a better option than just kind of, I don't know, Ghost is just not that much good of a card. So you could use Frostbites, I'm guessing, to, like, you know, kind of bait the fight. When you're all attacking, they're gonna try killing Quinn. You just Frostbite, and you still get the attack proc for her ability. So I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do for Quinn, but it's just you're using too many resources for her. That's the main problem. You want someone who you could play like a Zed or an Elise, who's just like a nice drop that will give you value no matter what you do, and you won't care if they die or if they level up. It's even better. But it's just something that's not going to be too straining, where you're going to have to constantly try keeping alive. Like, I feel like that's where Callista currently is in the meta right now. You just have to fight to keep her alive somehow. Sometimes you don't have to attack. And I feel like that's the same thing that's going to happen to Quinn. I think if they revamped Quinn's ability a little, maybe if they made it instead of 4 attacks, total 3, maybe you could see more play. I think that would make her a little more, maybe on the overpowered side, but you would start seeing at least some value into having Quinn on the board, or actually using her in a deck. I think it would for the most part be a little on the higher side of like maybe a little OP, but it's better than, like, here's another option that you could do. Every time a minion attacks, you will give you'll proc her ability. I think that would be insane because you would easily get 4 attacks. You could probably get it in that one turn. So that would be broken as hell. So I just think if you maybe made it 3, that would help things a little better. Might be a little too strong, but I just think that would put her in her place because she's going to fall in the place that Callista is kind of struggling in right now. Callista is like, what, 3 mana for a 4/3? You're basically adding 2 more mana and you're going to be in that same situation, just trying to keep her alive for all those the attacks. It's just not going to work. Like, if Callista was killing it right now, I'd be like, oh, hey, maybe Quinn will have a similar thing going on. But at this meta currently, it's not going to work. Unless the new cards they add are going to be somehow relevant to kind of, you know, buff her up or help her out somehow where she's untouchable. And I just don't see much play with her. That's all basically for Quinn. Over here, I have them opened up. Starting off with the Great Hoard Companion, that beautiful scout. So these stats are kind of like 5 mana, 4/5. You have an Elnuk that is also 4/5, but it's only 4 mana. So I guess that's what the extra scout is for, right? So you can attack another turn. I mean, let's say you were facing Garen, you just die, right? Instantly on that attack. I just don't think Great Hoard Companion is not. Is it better than, like, let's compare it to Quinn, I guess, because it's a 5 mana as well, right? In Demacia. A better comparison would be if we just filter by Demacia. Guys, would you rather play Great Hoard Companion, or would you rather play something like a Radiant Guardian at turn 5, Swiftwing Lancer, Vanguard Cavalry? Like, these could easily trade into this card, and he would die. So I don't know, man. Like, if you're versing a mirror, you're basically screwed on that end. His stats aren't really good. Like, you're getting the scout keyword, but it's like you're forgetting the part that they can actually have minions, right? And then wouldn't you more so want to drop Quinn rather than that guy? Like, let's see, she's a 3/4 with an extra 2/1 body. I mean, Quinn's probably better in this case, right? Because you have a level up here that is potentially gonna help you. It's really, honestly, just Quinn is just, I guess, a little bit better than the Great Thorn Companion. Now if we go over here to Green Fang Warden, okay, now we have an elite, which makes it a lot better. His stats obviously aren't good, but I think if you buff him, like, right, it would obviously help him maybe with standalone. The fact that he's got that barrier, you could actually mix this with a barrier deck. Yeah, so with Green Fang, I feel like you can make a nice little Green Glade Caretaker deck right there, because that's another barrier for her. So that's pretty good synergy. So now, oh, this is the card that I'm freaking waiting for, guys. Grizzled Ranger. So strong, guys. 4/1 for a 4 mana cost. Like, dude. And then when he dies, he summons a Loyal Badger Bear. Like, this is crazy, man. And the Loyal Badger Bear in itself is a 3 mana 4/4. So it's like, what the hell, Rito? It's literally, if you can group them together at this point. He's like an 8/5. Like, dude, you're gonna have to clear him no matter what. He does 4 damage all the time. He does what the Loyal Badger Bear is gonna do all the time. So how do you stop this? Like, the only way I'm thinking in my head, dude, you're gonna have to Purify. Purify is what, a 2 cost mana spell. But then again, that's really slow, right? At least you would stop him from being a 4/4. But you have to get rid of his body somehow. So I think if you mix him up, if you mix Purify, that's so specific. You would need an Ionia Shadow Owl deck, a Vile Feast, in order to, so you'd be spending 4 mana in total to clear up his 4 mana, and you would have a 1/1. Is that a win-win? And you use 2 cards, and he only used 1. I don't think that's a win-win at all. And like, frankly, if you just were to use Vile Feast, I don't think that's a win-win either, because now he has a 4/4, you got a 1/1, and you healed 1. I just think Grizzled Ranger is one of those strong cards that I think the best thing you can do is probably Purify and Vile Feast, but you're just wasting a lot of cards. He's gonna have obviously 3 of these, right? Yeah, so this is really strong, guys. You're gonna have to clear this no matter what. You could recall him, I guess, but like, dude, you're spending another 4 mana for that. It's not worth it, and you're not gonna have anything on the board. Like, dude, this is gonna be the card that everyone's gonna want to play. So this is what I believe makes Scout cards really strong right now. I don't believe Quinn is the real reason that, you know, like, I wasn't so hyped about Quinn when I saw the announcement. I was more so hyped about actual Scout cards and what they could bring to the table, because if you buff these cards, man, they're pretty dangerous. You know, attacking twice basically. And Loyal Badger Bear, for the, like, if you think about Loyal Badger Bear, he is similar to the Chumpwump, right? 4/3 Chumpwump. He's kind of like Chumpwump in that sense, but he's 1 mana less, which is like, what the hell? Why are they just giving this to Demacia? It's very similar to what they pulled with Demacia with the with their 1-drop, right? With Cytherea of Cloudfield. Like, she's a 1 mana drop with 2/2 stats, but it's different because, like, if you think about Loyal Badger Bear, like, when you see her stats, right? Cytherea of Cloudfield, it's like one of the best stats in the game for a 1-drop. But at the end of the day, other 1-drops can trade into her. But at 3 mana, no other 3 mana is going to be able to trade into Loyal Badger Bear. So, like, why wouldn't you play him, right? It's a really strong card, and I don't know why Riot would do this. It's like, what the hell, dude? That's strong. Then when you mix him up with the Grizzled Ranger, dude, you're just adding another. He's literally like the middleman, if you think about it, and it's even more OP because it's another body you have to deal with. So it's like, what the hell? These cards are strong right here. I could see much play with all of these 3 if you buff, right? Now when you're buffing, dude, Bannerman, if you add Cytherea into that, Cytherea would insanely just dominate the freaking field, guys. 6 mana Cytherea over here. Oh my lord. So you could do a wombo combo. I've heard talk that you can do it, and I do believe it's going to be really strong. You would attack with Cytherea, you give everyone their buff, and then you would Relentless Pursuit, attack with your Scout minions, and then attack with everyone again. That would be the most insane value I could see with this deck, and which is why I'm saying I feel like the trailer, what it opened my eyes more to was the Scout minions. Like, Scouts just have so much potential. But dude, it's Quinn that's the problem. Quinn is not, her stats are not up to par with what I think she should have had. Or her level up should be a little quicker, you know, maybe 3 attacks instead of 1, instead of 3 attacks instead of 4. There's just something up with her stats that just don't add up, that I just believe people are gonna cut her out of the whole deck build, and they're just gonna leave the Scout minions. Going back to Valor here, you can't obviously create him. He doesn't have a little crystal here, so he's just part of the Quinn. And then Blinding Assault, I really, like, I don't know, man, it doesn't seem good. Fleet Feather, right? It's basically a shittier version of Fleet Feather if you kind of think about it, because Fleet Feather is 1-drop. If they do something to him, then all right, Valor's probably reasonable to actually, you know, play. But just, why would you play him at 2-drop? I feel like you could, for the most part, play a, I mean, is it that bad though? I mean, Not really, right? Because anyone else at a 2-drop kind of has the same health. But the thing is, he can be cleared at that with 1 health only at 2 mana. And usually at 2 mana, people will have at least 2 health, right? So that's the only bad thing. Like, I could see that you could at least trade with another 2 mana minion, but it's like the fact is they can actually clear them with, like, you know, a 1 damage spell, and that's not good at all. So now going back into the scout keyword, why now we've said why scout is such a great card, right? If you play it at a good mana curve, like starting from A to Z, so 2, 3, 4, like you play all these, this good kit into Cytheria, like, dude, you're balling really hard. But it's just got its own set of like cards that you kind of have to play. Maybe even Bannerman. We don't know if he's going to be relevant in that meta. I feel like when that meta starts, they're going to try changing and revamping some cards. So I don't even know if you're going to be able to play Bannerman after him. But I just think instead of Bannerman, Grizzled Ranger would be better in this case. You'd be better playing Battlesmith at turn 2 to kind of give him the buff. But yeah, Cytheria is going to be that card that I think is going to bring everyone together. Maybe even Tiana Crown Guard, you know what I mean, at turn 8 for an Elder Rally. Like, that's not too far-fetched from what I'm thinking. Especially since we're going to think Quinn is going to be popping off at like turn 9. I think you can probably make it even earlier with Tiana. So I mean, even though, like, I just still think the scout keyword is going to be better no matter what. On these minions in general, and Quinn, it just kind of like, it's gonna be hard, really hard, unless you get a lot of rallies, right? So yeah, that's kind of my take on it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I tried covering as much as I could in a small amount of time, but I just, you know, like, I just don't see Quinn being that great. Hopefully the other cards are gonna come out, and maybe they're gonna be like, there's gonna be some way to kind of like have an extra silence, because like we know, right, Purify is literally our only like silence. They got to add more of those, 100%. So I think we need some sort of silence for this. Maybe, I mean, silence deal 1, like that would be crazy. Just, it'd be like exceptional to that. But like, you know, maybe there's something like that that's gonna happen. I just feel like this is really strong, man, for Demacia. And Demacia's been killing the game since like day 1, dude. As much as people have not been complaining about it, like, it's been really good. It's been in a good like light. Good win rate. It just wasn't OP, but it was still like doing really well. That's basically all I wanted to cover with Quinn. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming out with all of the other ones when they do release. I'm gonna be seeing how well those cards are gonna be. But yeah, don't get confused too much with what's going on over here with the trailer. It was too good to be true. They played it in such a really best case scenario. Like, this guy was like 6 mana, the other guy was 4 mana. Like, how, dude? How even? So yeah, guys, just don't fall into that trap. Quinn is just not gonna be where I think she's gonna be. I could be wrong. We're gonna have to see how things play out as the cards progress. I might come back to like just explain how Quinn might be influenced by these extra cards that are coming out. So, you know, stay tuned for that. But as far as like what we've been given by the trailer and the actual cards that were dropped, it just doesn't look too good for Quinn. She's got to get buffed somehow, but I just don't see, like, I just think you'd be better off buffing these guys than Quinn. Like, and then again, she has her split Valor, who's not gonna get buffed. Like, you know what I mean? It's better, I think, consolidated in 1 at this point. Yeah, guys, so that's my take on it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post in the comments section. But I just think something to really note, guys, about the scout that I don't think is covered in a lot of other videos or people have been talking about, is that imagine with scout, right, turn 5 you get all of this value, right? You do your 2-drop, you get your 3-drop down, you get your 4-drop, 5-drop, everyone attacks, you know, there's trades and whatnot going on, but then on turn 6 you rally. Like, dude, I just think that's so strong right there. And I think one little thing I want to point out with Quinn of maybe why she would be okay dropping at turn 5 instead of the Great Horn Companion is that only if you have rally at turn 6 it would work, I think. Because if you attack with everyone, but you wouldn't have Valor. The problem is Valor would die here, most likely in all scenarios, to make sure everyone gets their attack in. Then at turn 6, even if you rally, like, you're not gonna have Valor. You could somehow get Valor to live on that turn, at turn 5, like when you attack, like, she's probably gonna die. You're gonna challenge someone, right? Or you just don't challenge her. You don't, like, it's just a weird combo, man, if you really think about it. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys later, hopefully on the next release.